Hi, this is Aaron, Polar Explorer and Motivational Speaker. It's Tech Day! Yes, it's Tech Day, so a little bit off my normal topic, but it's things that can affect you. I've got this MacBook Air here, 2012 mid-model, and it only has 128 gig hard drive. That's a problem because, lo and behold, it's full instantly. When you go to the store and you say, oh, that's plenty, ha, yeah, right. So we ordered a Jet Drive Transcend 250, or 520? 520, I'm getting dyslexic here. For MacBook 2012, we're gonna plug it in, see if it works, see how good this package is, whether this is a good kit or a bad kit. Ordered off the world's biggest online retailer. You might know who they are. So I'm gonna just point the camera down, show you what I'm doing, try and get a narration, and we'll see how good this thing is. It's supposed to come with everything. Who knows? So this is not really an unboxing video, but one of the challenges when you buy Apple products, they are incredibly expensive when you buy increased RAM or increased hard drive space. Yes, the RAM and the hard drive are different. Okay, you can obviously see I'm struggling already. That's okay, it's properly packaged. It's inspiring confidence, but that means I'm just gonna hack the heck out of it. Hopefully, this isn't dead on arrival, and one of the things about testing gear is you got to make sure you do what's called a burn-in test. Ooh, hard drive. Now, the key is making sure you buy the one that fits your computer, because if you don't get the right one that doesn't fit your computer, guess what? It doesn't fit. So, here we are. Okay, so this is the hard drive. It doesn't look like a hard drive like a traditional hard drive. I'll show you what a traditional hard drive looks like. Traditional hard drive looks like this without the post-it note. This sort of thing, that's a desktop drive. But do you think a desktop drive will fit in this? No, I think not. So, there you are. So that is the hard drive. It's called a SSD or solid state drive, and that's what's inside here. But the one inside here is small, and this is 4 times the size. I didn't get the full terabyte model because Apple doesn't offer that. Oops. Apple doesn't offer that in this, what am I doing? This drive size or a computer, because I don't know why. It actually kind of bothered me because I was worried it might overheat. The reviews weren't totally clear as usual because they're all mixed together. And so we're going to do that. Let's see. So Transcend also sends you the hard drive case. Ooh, it's aluminum. Nice. So the theory is that you put the drive in here, transfer over from your MacBook Air into here, and then swap it over and you're good to go. We'll see how that works. The warranty card. Blah, blah, blah. Looks like Chinese, Japanese, Korean, yeah, whatever. Okay, I don't really care about that. Quick installation, that's what we care about. Now we're not going to be in here. We're actually going to read this because I don't know how this all works. Install your Jet Drive in the enclosure, part 2 for more details. Connect enclosure to Mac. Turn Command R. Oh yeah, disk utilities. Jet Drive. Erase Jet Drive, not your drive. That'd be bad. Enter name for Jet Drive. Journaled. Restore. Select source. Transcend after cloning process is complete. Shut down Mac. Remove. Wow. I thought I was going to have to get Carbon Copy Cloner or something, but this actually uses the Mac system to do the transfer. Totally cool. Okay, well, so far so good. Gives you like 12 steps. It's actually not too bad. Let's see, include key. Okay, where the heck is part 1, part 2? Okay, so part 2. So we got to get the drive in the case, and I've got a little static discharger. So that's a key thing. And remove USB SATA enclosure. All right. So I'm just reading the instructions, just showing what it'll be like for you should you buy this product and this doesn't fail. Okay, oh, they even have a nice little sleeve. What else do they have in here? It's kind of like an unboxing video, but more of a tech video. They've got a little sleeve for this thing, a USB 3 drive, a sticker for unknown purposes, 3 screws, and, oh, check it out, a pentalobe, and then a hex. Cool. So the theory is that they send you everything that you need to do this job. So we'll find out if that's the case. So I need to put the drive in this case. Comes with this little slippy deal, which is probably impossible for me to get apart. All right, there we go. Cool. Okay, so far so good. Nothing's exploded yet. The bottom case comes off, and this is the USB to transcend adapter. All right. Read the instructions again. Let's see. Open the case, remove the SATA drive from the enclosure, connect the jet drive to the adapter, carefully install into the adapter. You may need to tilt the boards to slide them in. Make sure the connector is perfectly placed. Place in jet drive and laying flat inside. And then close the closure with 3 things. Okay, so we will discharge static. I'm touching some metal, and I'm wearing a cotton shirt, not a polyester. That's a key thing. If I was proper, I would have an anti-static thing. Ooh, check that out. It's got leads on one side, but solid metal on the other, probably for a speed or some such thing. Okay, we're gonna click this in. All right. Clicked in, not too bad. And you're supposed to push it in this case. You might have to tilt it. It's all metal. It's kind of disconcerting that it doesn't short out, but so far it fell in just fine. Okay. That's nice. I expected this to be a plastic case. Of course, it kind of floats. Well, oh, okay. It's got some spongy stuff here and here. So it presses on this section and this section. All right, so since it's an aluminum case, this is pretty cool. This is like a little portable hard drive, like hyper portable. Ooh, there we go. There's some thoughts. Now, the theory is I've got to screw this together so it doesn't short out. Hopefully the screws don't go flying across the room or something silly. So I've done that many, many times. Let's see, and this is the Allen style. Okay. All right. Yes, you're actually watching me screw stuff down because I want to give you the real-time experience of what this is like. So you can probably fast forward the video, but I'm just going to let it play out on YouTube and be just okay. Just to give you an idea what it truly entails. All right. And you always screw the screws down, but not completely till you get all 3 in. And that way it's balanced in case you have a problem. Ooh, now this head is not the right size for these screws because I'm grabbing the pentalobe. Ha! Okay, I didn't pay attention. This is the pentalobe. I was wondering why it was slipping. This is the T5 Torx. Okay, don't do my first mistake. Use the Torx, use the proper head because it was slipping. Oh, there we go. Heh. All right, good. You get to learn from my mistakes. Pay attention to which screwdriver you're using because they look exactly the same, but they are not. Check that out. Okay, it's like an instant USB drive. That's pretty cool. And it's super portable. That might be cool just to have. Ha. All righty. So far so good. And we've got the usual ubiquitous USB cable that every household has to have 40 of these things. Probably. Okay. But everyone's a little bit different. And this guy's short. This is kind of cool. All right. Get that unscrewed or unflipped. This is a high-speed USB interface there. It's a little bit different than the standard. If you, this is for the MacBook Air, so they have proper USB instead of USB-C, which are micro and which are weak and bend, and it's already happened to people on their $3,000 computers. Okay, click it in. Voila. Okay. And then where are we? We click this guy in. Now it's nice. It's solid state, so you don't have to worry about it dropping the hard drive or anything. And the instructions say we got to do a Command R startup on the Mac. Where are we? Plug it in. Okay, hold Command and R to start up. So if you want to start from an external drive or a different drive than your boot drive, that's the magic key combo on the Mac. All right, so because the computer is fast enough, I just hold Command R down when I power this up and say powered up. Okay, and here we go. And this guy's blinking. Check it out, it's blinking. Yay, something's happening. I didn't see fire, so that was a benefit. Okay, and I just hold Command R down until nothing happens. Eventually something will happen. Ah, there we go. There's the Apple symbol. Of course, I need to move the camera because you cannot see the screen. I'm going to have to readjust the camera. So I'm holding Command R down. Now that the computer's doing this, maybe we'll twist this so you can see what's going on. That's more interesting. And we'll zoom in a bit. Good. Now this isn't like the fancy people, the screen capture. I'm just doing this low tech, so you get a little more real life here. Let's see, there we go. Okay. And eventually it gets around. It's trying to find the boot drive on here. This guy's was blinking green. It's now blue. Okay, cool. And now we wait. Okay, well, I'm probably fast forward the video. Probably not. I don't know. Hopefully the computer isn't dead. No, it's not. This is just a slow process. And I think after this starts, I can release Command R. So hopefully we'll see what happens here. So this is part of the reading instructions part. Is actually valuable. And so far the instructions are quite good. The OS 6 utilities or OS 10 utilities, there we go, have been pretty good so far. And we'll see if the computer starts up. I might pause this. This is boring. Is this thing moving? Oh, yay, good. Something's happened. Oops. No, it's restarting again. Did I release Command R because I was supposed to? Hey, we just upgraded to the, oh, there's my nose. We just upgraded to whatever, OS Mojave 1022 or whatever it is, who knows. Okay, good. So the instructions say select disk utility. So we'll zoom in. This is so low tech compared to you screen capture people. I love it. Disk utility, okay? And then continue. All right. And this says select jet drive transcend in the sidebar, which is over there. Hey, we can see stuff. Okay. Let me adjust the camera just a little bit. Low tech, low tech. Come on, work with me, people. Select jet drive and click the erase. Do not select your Macintosh drive. That will be a crying moment of epic proportion. We will hit erase. Enter name for your jet drive. I don't know. Transcend, that's fine. Even though it defaults to EXFAT, you must choose OSX. Oops, can't zoom in there. Extended, journaled. That's the only thing that works. So make sure this says OS journaled, otherwise this totally will fail. Click erase. And since there's nothing on there, the drive will unmount, and hopefully this will all work. Show details. Process complete. So far, so good. Okay. All right. Base system, you don't want to mess with that. Otherwise, you will never recover your drive. Then it says, go to the upper menu bar and hit. Boom. Okay, so go to disk utility, edit. Oh, there's that edit thing again. Restore. Restore, select Macintosh hard drive as the source. Okay. Boom, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. Okay. This is the source. So would you like to restore to transcend? One detail they left out is you got to make sure to select transcend If you have the disk image selected and you overwrite the disk image, you will not recover your computer. That's a crying moment. So one thing they left out is make sure Transcend is selected if it deselects. And then select Macintosh hard drive as source. And then click Restore to start the restore process. And now, restore has failed. Well, that didn't take long. Operation cannot be completed. Over and status. Done. Well, that was like a mega downer. After the cloning process is complete. Great. This is where the debug part comes in. And that's why I wanted to have you see exactly what the experience would be. Restore from Macintosh. Let's see. Transcend will be erased and place the data on volume selected below. Restore to Transcend. Restore. Well, okay. Operation cannot be completed. OSS status error 5342. No clue. Well, good thing I've got another computer to go work on. Okay, well, that was very anticlimactic. Let me go look up that error and I'll be right back. Okay, I think I found the solution. We'll see. I'm just going to try everything and just show you the struggle and experience. Apparently after High Sierra or Sierra and then Mojave, the interface has changed. Because this, actually, I should have noticed this, but let me zoom in. You'll notice, if you've ever gone into Disk Utility, this is only showing the drives, the partition drives. It's not showing everything in the devices. So, apparently, there is a View option up here. You click View, show all devices, not just volumes. Ha ha ha. And there you go. Now, how would I have known that? I don't know. I did an internet search and ooh, I'm a former engineer or still an engineer. Oh man, I'm doing terrible. I'm a terrible cameraman of myself. So let's see if this works. So this is something in this process like, oh, it doesn't work. Error minus 5342. Yeah, that's real helpful. Sounds like an engineering thing. So now we're going to zoom in. Okay. And we're going to choose not the Transcend partition, but you got to choose the entire drive because we want to be able to clone the entire drive with the Apple image as well. Because if you don't do the Apple image and your computer conks out, you're not going to have anything. So we will now go to Edit, Restore, like the instructions show. And now, ooh, here we go. From the Apple SSD SM128, which is this guy here. Okay. So jet drive will be erased and replaced, and you gotta make sure this is correct, otherwise you will destroy your computer. On volume selected below, restored to the drive. Oh, failed. Yeah. Failed again! Uh-oh. Alright, I got this thing to work. Oh, banging my head on the wall. You gotta look at the tiny picture. So I've got the restore process going, but I'll explain what I did. It's clear, but not so clear. So, yeah, imagine that, right? Computers. No wonder I don't do engineering anymore. Okay, so when you click Transcend Media, it shows in the picture, and of course I read the OS journal part, but I did not get the GUID partition map. You got to do that because I used master boot record. Fail on my part. An inner name jet drive, and that was selected on... Isn't this fun? Yes. Not really. This is the lesson. If you can afford to buy the bigger hard drive, just buy the bigger hard drive. That's life sometimes. So you click on the jet drive Transcend, and then you do the erase and tell to do the part extended and GUID partition map. But then, this is the trick. There's always a trick. You do the restore, and it went up to restore. and then select Macintosh hard drive as source. However, you'll notice over here, they selected the partition, and it wasn't totally clear of what you're supposed to select, because I was trying to select the device, not the partition. I guess if you're a Linux or OS X guts person. So the key is you need to select not the device, but the partition one level down. And then when you select the device, or the partition, not the device, one level down, then I went to edit, restore, select Macintosh hard drive like they show. Then all of a sudden, voila, it worked. Yeah, see, Macintosh hard drive. So the key, the trick was, you don't select the device, you had to select, it says container disk 22 now, but at the time it just said transcend partition or some such thing. So that is the trick to this. So I'm not gonna make you watch this little slider deal work. We'll take a pause and then we'll get back to it. Well, this has been a spectacularly punishing activity because for some reason when we upgraded to OS X or 10 or whatever, Mojave, the install procedure is not working correctly, getting all sorts of errors, and you search online, and I'm technical, but whoa. So I have a copy of Carbon Copy Cloner that I bought and put on there, and have cloned from the system drive to the transcend drive. So after all that yada yada, the Mac way is not working. I don't know why. Maybe it's Mojave. It's brand new-ish, so people are still not sure about this. I didn't read Amazon reviews. Oh my gosh, why does that have to be so hard? So I used Carbon Copy Cloner, cloned over. It seems to boot up on the drive. It's blinking and flashing and doing its thing. So hopefully that will work. So I've powered down the computer and now I'm gonna drop the drive in there and see what happens. This is my MacBook Air. Eesh. Oh my gosh. So I don't know how much of that I'm gonna delete because that was pretty worthless. I'm gonna watch you suffer and I'll show all those tricks. Yeah, I guess I'll leave it in there and see what happens, but good grief. Okay, so I wonder if the instructions have how to take your Mac apart. Hey, nope. Say part 2, part 3, transcend. No, it doesn't have how to take your Mac apart. Great. Well, looks like you gotta take some stuff apart here. And the key is not to lose the screws, so I need to get a container. Be right back. Okay, we're back. Definitely get a plastic container for these screws. You lose them, I wouldn't say they're irreplaceable, but you're in trouble. Now make sure you get the pentalobe screwdriver, the 5 deal. I'm gonna move the camera in here. I'm gonna see if we can knock this thing out pretty quick. I might have to look up how to physically replace the drive. I don't know. Yeah, see, I don't like doing tech anymore. It's pretty punishing. Okay, so these are pretty tight finger-wise. If you do this over a carpet and you lose your screws, you're probably toast. If you've got a floor with a lot of cracks and they fall in there, you're probably toast. So just basically code for, basically code for be extremely careful and mindful what you're doing. I don't know, maybe nobody will watch this video, but I want to have an honest user experience of the frustrations of doing this. So my experience, the screws on the back are longer. And they do have thread lock in them. Yeah, the screws on the back are longer, so just be mindful of that. I wanted to show you what the real experience of doing this sort of thing is like. Some people showed that they installed just fine, but I obviously did not, no matter what I did. It's like the system wouldn't boot up, the drive is unhooked. Oh my gosh. I bet you I'll get a lot of thumbs down on this video, but I want you to show you just what it is like. Theoretically, when you plug it in, the OS switches over, but if you have not upgraded to Mojave and you want to do this, or even High Sierra, I would probably recommend not upgrading to the OS. Upgrade the drive first and then do that. Oh, look, there's dust. Gotta get a can of air. Now, this is the drive, it looks like. Okay, gonna de-static here. All right, so I have to zoom in. It's kind of dark in here, so hopefully, where is it? Okay, that looks like the drive. So you gotta take the drive back out of this container. Not knock the screws all over the place. Be careful not to touch any of this other little doodad stuff, because you will cry. Whoa, hey, almost did it. Almost did it. Okay, this is the Pentalobe. This is the Samsung. All right. All right. So it looks like I can create a bootable portable drive. Now, do I want to do that versus just buying a canned solid state drive to drive around with? I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, it's always nice to have that. This is more powerful than the USB drive. Obviously, it's much larger. You can get large USB drives, 128 gig. I have had a couple fail, so that was a little disturbing. I don't know. I wasn't, and normally I bought it from SanDisk, and they're quite reputable, but boy, it definitely went wrong for me. So the cool thing is you can keep the old drive, put it in here, and have a spare drive. Okay, so there you go. Looks like that. Seems to match. Yeah, all right. And this is a 6-sided, not a 5-sided. Just be careful not to stab and crack stuff, because it's all surface mount and it's all ball joint, so you will never repair your computer if you wreck it. Okay, here we go. Pulling out. Sorry, my hand was in the way. I pulled it out, just wiggle it gently. Okay. And then we're gonna put this in here. And just carefully push it back in. Oof, tight. Click. Ew. Okay. Never know. Never know. Very carefully. Now these have thread lock in there. Now I am not going to put the thread lock back on there because I don't want to get that all over the place. It looks like they used the blue. Okay, now what do I do? Okay, I think what I'll do is I'll put the old drive back into this case, just so it's protected for the moment. All right, and I'll put the screws, I'll just half screw it in. Just want to be highly protective of that thing. If something goes terribly wrong, I don't have a lot to recover from. I do have other computers, but this is an older Mac 2012, and I don't have that. Okay, so you just got to be mindful. Don't work too fast. I'm trying to work fast because this is starting to become a very boring video even for me. Okay, there you go. Okay, all right. Not too bad, actually. Doesn't have a lot of hours on it, which is good. All right, those things like to scoot around a lot. Everything else looks clean. There are all the batteries. See, those are all the batteries in your computer. Multiple modules, that's how they keep that guy alive. Alrighty, okay, here we go. Surgery, Captain! Alright, put these 2 screws in the back. Oh boy, and they're hard to get out of this container. Okay, don't choose a container where you can't get your hand in there. Jeez. Okay. Okay. So far so good. Maybe I'll pour them out. Be very careful because these screws are so tiny. Eesh. Drop it on the floor again, we're spending hours looking for that sucker. Now it would be nice if the screwdriver was magnetized. Some people say that's bad, but trust me, after you've done this for years and years, you really tend to want your screwdrivers magnetized, because at least when you lose control of your screws, ooh, don't cross-thread them, it's only aluminum, and the screws are steel. Just finger tight, nothing crazy. Don't go gorilla on this sucker. Once you strip it, that's it. There's no return. Because the screws are so short, the threads are so shallow that you will not be repairing your computer. Now, mind you, that it's not as big a deal to have one loose screw, but in the long run it causes problems. One of the keys is to back out, go backwards till you feel that click, and now you know you've got in the right position so you don't cross thread. So that's an old technician trick. Even though it's not as efficient, it's much safer. So you go backwards, click, and then boom, you got it. You know where you are. And it's funny, after doing all this effort, hopefully this thing boots up, otherwise I'm going to have to take it apart and try again. I just don't want to boot it up without it being all sealed up. Why? I don't know, but all those little parts and things fall apart. It'll be $1,200 down the drain in less than a second. And that's not an enjoyable activity. Okay. So if you're religious, this is where you cross yourself. We'll cross the computer. If you're not religious, just pray to the dirt, because that's probably where you'll end up. Battery's on. Nothing's exciting. You press the button, and we'll see what happens. The firmware will boot up, and we'll see if we have a swearing moment or we've got nothing. So far, nothing. All right, we'll pause here. Okay, so it took a while. Blank screen. I'm used to my higher speed computers, so let me tilt up here a bit. Ooh, blank screen, blinky, flashy. So this is Mojave. Woo! 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 I think we have a heartbeat! Now, I haven't tried to boot from the boot partition. You want to try that, because if something goes terribly wrong, you need to boot up. You got to do that, so we're going to try that as well. And I like the cat. Yeah, it's pretty cute. Well, so far so good. Do I have disk? Oh, I don't. I need to get the disk speed utility on here. So what we're going to do is we're going to just test this. We're going to do a restart. And you do Option R, I think. Restart. Command R? Command R. I can't remember. Crud. Oops. Oh. Okay. Command R. And the Command R should allow me to check what drive I'm booting onto, or the system recovery drive. And we'll test that as well. Do not do this without testing. So I use Carbon Copy Cloner, cloned one drive to the other. Then it asked if I wanted to copy the boot recovery partition. You say yes. Trust me on this one. You gotta say yes, because that is the only way you can recover your system, is that boot. If everything goes wrong and that partition's still alive, you're in business. Also, when you're doing this, you don't want to turn on the computer, oh yeah, it works, and quit. You want to do what's called a burn-in, because you never know. It's called premature death or infant mortality in computers. You want to let this thing cook and do some stuff with it, because you only have a short time to return it to your online retailer, wherever you bought this. And if it's going to die, you want to kill it early so you can get it back there without having to do manufacturer's returns, because those are always miserable. So this is what we're testing now. We will see. We'll pause since you don't want to watch this little indicator move. Okay, it seems to work so far. So we're going to go into disk utility. We'll zoom in. Whoa, wrong direction, folks. I know this is punishing, but this will show everybody how to do it. So really, you got to use carbon copy cloner. And if you say, well, that's an expense, that's the way it is, folks. So the base system is on here. Can you see that? Where are we? Okay, cool. The base system is on here to reproduce, the transcend. Let's see, restore partition crud. Oh, well, should have called this Mac OS, but I guess it's called transcend now. I don't think I can rename it. We're going to run first aid just to double check. Always do a quick little first aid on this thing and see what it does. To make sure everything copied over and there are no weird errors. That's also a good test of the system. And then once this is done, then I'll power back up. Okay, that worked, and we're gonna see if we can do the OS-based system and do a quick first aid. Yes, we'll temporarily lock the startup volume. That's okay. Double check, that seems to work. Sweet. So now, after we've done that, we're gonna reboot, and I'm gonna get Blackmagic Disk Speed Test. Download that onto here. Oops, sorry. Download that onto here, and that's a Blackmagic Speed Test is a great way to test burning in your system because it just constantly copies files. Yes, I know solid state drives wear out, but if you don't test this thing and make sure at least it can handle some abuse, just trust me, I've done this. Speak from experience. So I'm going to get that on there and then we'll run and see what happens. Okay, and we're back. We're back. We seem to be alive. Yay! Alrighty. So this is my MacBook Air. It is a MacBook Air 13-inch early 2015. This MacBook is a mid-2012. I should have done the original drive test. This is a 7/7,2. This is a 5,2. Okay, and we're going to do 1 gig drive or 1 gig file size. As you can see, the write speeds are relatively comparable. Mine's a little bit faster. The read on this one's 512, but mine's 1400. So 3 times faster. That's pretty dramatic, but that's more the data system in this drive than anything. That's why this is so much better. So every time you buy these drives, they're not comparable or compatible. You have to buy, there we go. You got to buy the correct drive for the year and everything. So like when you look on the Transcend off of Amazon or anything, you got to get the right one. So you want to spend some time because all those slots and connectors have changed over the years for better speed, but they're not compatible. So far, the new drive has worked. The final conclusion is I could not get the Apple method to upgrade the drive externally, which kind of stunk. But, I need to test this external drive. I won't do that. That's probably pretty boring. But so the final conclusion is if you're going to do this, and especially if you have OS Mojave, I would definitely recommend buying Carbon Copy Cloner for 2 reasons. One, it worked like idiot-proof. The Mac way, I don't even know what was wrong. It was very difficult to do. Carbon Copy Cloner, you say clone from the Mac drive to the external, and it totally clones it and changes the OS or the file system, and then it asks, do you want to clone the boot partition or the recovery? Yes, you do! Because that's how you can boot from the drive, which I tested. Make sure to test everything. Download Blackmagic Speed Test. Oh, it's actually getting faster. Huh, must be caching. Mine's getting faster. This other computer is not getting as fast, but whatever. So test that thing. Make sure the command recovery, Command R, also works, and just do some first aid in the command recovery. Do everything that you need to do. And if you don't know what to do, do these things. Command recovery, check the boot partition, check the main partition, test it all out, and sit there and just let it stay on for a while and cook that thing to make sure it doesn't die, because I've read some people, this one's Transcend's way better rated than OWC. OWC has about a 1 out of 3 failure rate based on the reviews I've seen. Trans-in's got about 5% failure rate. So not too bad, but still 5% is 5%. Does that mean your original MacBook or Air drive can die? You betcha. Always back up your data. Drives are pretty cheap, $100. I know it's a little bit of money. Use a time machine, and then since you bought Carbon Copy Cloner, have it clone your documents, your music, your pictures, your video, everything onto a second drive. I know it's a little bit more money, but I have seen time machine drives corrupt and your machine dies. I've had students do this and they're like, I hate this. Yeah. So get that second backup drive, maybe from a different manufacturer or something. Use Carbon Copy Cloner to do that. You can watch videos on YouTube. So this process allows you to have multiple backups, less likelihood of failure. Because a computer dying is painful, but losing all of your stuff is way worse. So losing your books, the things you've written, or whatever you do on your computer, that's far worse. So final conclusion, Carbon Copy Cloner, skip the Apple technique. It's way longer. Carbon Copy works. Trans-in drive, so far so good. No smoke yet. My name is Aaron Linsdau. I'm a polar explorer and motivational speaker. Hopefully you've enjoyed this tech experience. I know the video is long, but you learned something new, and I hope it helps you out. Thank you very much. Like and comment on my video. Subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Twitter on at @Linsdau. Please, if you want to contribute to Patreon or one of my other links, I would really appreciate it, and I hope this helped you out. Thank you.